Well, this mob farm is finally done. I did some of the storage off camera. I was having a bit of a hard time with this, and nothing I really decided really came to mind that was going to be cheap. My creative testing of this was a lot more expensive, but this is probably as simple as I could make it. Probably have some minecarts and stuff missing. Nope. Alright, this is looking really good. I expected that when I got disconnected from the server that this was going to have minecarts in bad places, and it does not. So I AFK'd this overnight until I have no idea when. I was randomly kicked from the server. And, I mean, this isn't like a really big mob farm, but it is because what I received from this is a lot more than I actually expected. So if we come over to here, which I still haven't like made a really good way to get over here quite yet, but we've got 3 sorters here for gunpowder, so these 3 double chest columns here are for gunpowder, and then bones. Both of these did exceptionally well. We've got so much gunpowder that I really don't know if I'm ever going to be able to use all of that. We've got, this one is the last column, so there's nothing in this one at all, which is kind of disappointing, but it's not at the same time. And then for bones, we've got exactly just as much as that as we have gunpowder. So we're able to go stock up this another tree farm because I rushed the design on this a little bit because I was given a trade proposal, and in order to get that done, I need to create another farm. I'm going to need to create a fungus farm over here, and I'm also going to need to get 8 shulker boxes worth of shroomlights, and there will be more on that later. On top of this, we've got a little bit of mining done, but with this being done, I am, again, completely broke on redstone, and now I think I'm also broke on glass as well. So, yeah, I think that for now this is... I mean, this mob farm's taking me a lot longer than I really wanted it to, but for what it does, I'm a little bit shocked about how fast this mob farm is, because I expected it to be a lot slower, but 12 shulker boxes of gunpowder and 12 shulker boxes of bones overnight, that's pretty good for what I would need. I don't think that another tree farm eats bone meal too bad, so let's get that crafted down, move it over to the another tree farm, and then let's see how much I have, because I have no idea if we can even hold that much stuff here, because I believe that this is just going to completely fill up. And I want to keep some of the crimson wart blocks and the what are these? The warped wart blocks. I want to keep those as well. But them being converted to bone meal is just a little bit more convenient and a little bit more helpful with the bone meal supply in here. So, gotta figure out where everything is. I don't think everything is like super accessible, but I don't think it's like super inaccessible. So this is where the bone meal needs to go. I don't think I like the way that feels. So I think I might get a shulker loader right here. I might build a shulker loader real quick, or a shulker unloader, and I'm going to push it into this hopper right here, so that any bone meal that comes through here from here will actually get priority usage, and then any bone meal that comes from the mob drop farm, it'll actually be secondary, so that we always get all of the bone meal that goes through here. Pretty much all of it is going to get used. So let's get that started, and then let's get a... we're going to need to create a fungus farm so that we can actually keep up with planting. I've used quite a bit of this in the past just to get started with this, so we've still got a lot of warped, but we've already got 4 stacks out of this, and it might be more helpful to have a couple other smaller redstone bits in here to maybe even control a fungus farm over here in the ocean over here. That way I can actually get the modules to work. Even when I'm, like, if I want to do a long AFK session, which I would prefer to do, I can actually do that now with this, because without it, the fungus is just going to run out. I can only put so much in here, and this is what Death has pre-stocked me with. So we'll have to solve those 2 problems, and then we'll have to make sure our storage can handle everything down here. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but, I mean, I've used most of the wood that's come through here. and I've only got a stack and a half almost of shroomlights, and we've got to fill 4 double chests. And I do not think this is going to be enough storage for all of that wood. So let's get started on those 2 smaller projects, and let's see if they actually end up working the way I want them to. I've considered for a while what I can do to get myself a little bit of a head start in a pretty much already completed server. What I mean by this is the end of the season is at a relatively well-known end date, and that is going to be very shortly after 1.17 releases, which means I have an unknown amount of time to complete a lot of other projects I have planned. What this means is I don't have all the time in the world that I'd like to create, dig, mine, do all that stuff that I've done now. You know, I can't go out and grab a bunch of concrete and terracotta and blue ice and all of that. So I've looked upon a few of the other fellow players here, and Lego Flame happens to be on right now, and he has offered multiple times to allow me to take things from other farms that he doesn't have a whole lot of use from but has built anyway, including a witch farm, which would help tremendously with my redstone issues at this very moment. I don't know what else they'll have access to there, but for right now, I do think that is going to help me quite a lot, and it would prevent me from having to create my own witch farm, and Lego will be here very shortly to show me where it's at and how it works. I have no idea what this witch farm is capable of. I do know it is going to be better than mining the redstone that I've been doing so far, but in order to get any further, I'm definitely going to need a better redstone source rather than buying constantly from the market, because every time I have to buy, I have to go dig for diamonds, and diamonds just don't come around as often as I'd like. Or I need to go end raiding, which I can't get around to as much because I don't have a good sugarcane farm. So there's a lot of smaller problems related to all of these problems because I joined the server so late. But I'm trying to not let them stop me from completing the rest of my goals for the rest of the season. So dead squid in the background. With all of that aside, it is time to go meet up with Lego and see where this witch farm is. Alright, so witch farm, huh?
Alright, actually, do you know where my hole is in the nether roof ceiling? It goes to
Not
my...
really.
Okay, I will meet you at your nether portal and I'll take you to the farm. Right, so if we go over here, this is my little hole in the ground to my separate nether hub.
Ah, because it isn't confusing enough up here, is it? Villager do you have here with the mossy decorations on them?
Oh, these are swamp villagers.
They're a thing?
Who live in a swamp. Yeah. They don't spawn in swamps, but if you get a zombie villager and convert it, I love the look of these guys. So
You've got to show me how you do that. That is so cool.
converting a villager?
No, how you got them to have the swamp decor. That's really cool.
Oh, well, zombie villagers spawn in swamps. So you have to get a zombie villager that spawns within a swamp.
And it'll convert to an impossible villager.
Yeah, there's the same with jungle villagers too.
Wow, that's weird.
All right, and then this is the portal to the witch farm. I was killing them with iron golems, but all the iron golems died, so now they're just dying to wither rose. But here's where all the loot is.
Okay, there's lots of bottles in here. That's actually really promising. It'd be nice to have like a
here's
small honey
redstone
farm.
if you need it. Britt and I always just convert it into blocks when we don't need it.
That's
So.
amazing. And this is so much red. You have no idea how much redstone this actually is. So I just got done with some end raiding and some mining, and I had some diamonds to spare, and I wanted to buy a few things in the market, but I wanted to check out the Autoclash thing to start with, and I mean, this thing, I mean, there's lots of people that have taken up, just all these people that have got their places marked and everything like that, but there's one slot left right here, and my name is in the barrel, and I have an idea that just kind of came to me. And I want to see if it works, but first we need to figure out how to get there. And I think the lectern should tell us where to go. No coordinates there. No, okay, so let me check the Discord real quick. Alright, it looks like we need to go to 1600, 1900. So that would be southeast of here. I've got a stack of rockets. I hope that's far enough to get there. I have no idea which portal it is, so I think I'm just gonna fly over all this terrain to get there. I've got a good enough elytra to get there. So let's head over there and let's see what the last slice has to offer and if my idea is going to work. Alright, before I get into this area, I have no idea what is spoilerish, so I might have to cut around this as I need to, but holy cow. Alright, that is... Wow, that is really cool. And it looks like this might be my slice right here. And there are, oh, hello mobs. So, oh wow, there's a lot of people that have done things here. I have no idea anything of this. I don't want to really ruin other people's builds, so I'm not going to go over them. Like, I might pan over them on the side of the screen, but I'm not going to actually look at each one individually. But with this amount of space, this is... I mean, wow, this is a lot of space and a lot of mobs that I really don't want to deal with. Okay, so my idea is pretty simple. I want to create, I want to keep all of this kind of the same. I want to go get some endstone, and all I want to do is I just want to build an end-themed parkour-ish type area. So I'm going to head over to creative. I'm going to go gather the resources for this. Alright, Splashes, well, I have been busy working on your order, and it is down here.
Very good. I have been busy working on yours.
Oh, yep, so the basalt is this one box as requested right here, and then we've got shroomlights all up through here.
Awesome, awesome.
Here, and then...
Awesome. And this is what you have requested. A shulker full of picks,
Oh my goodness.
shovels, and armor. Though I only have projectile protection for. I don't have normal protection for, so they're just mending and unbreaking. You'll have to install the protection yourself.
I'm sure I can go to top tower for that. There's no big deal there. It's amazing.
I'm sure.
I can finally do some big digs and everything. I've been waiting for this for so long.
Oh yeah, having a whole bunch of picks is so nice.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go ahead and, well, just after this, I am going to go ahead and gather up 60 shulker boxes of terracotta.
Oh,
So,
that sounds
yay.
fun. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much for this. Oh my goodness. I have had a very successful AFK session. I still have a couple problems to figure out with this thing. There are so many things that can go wrong with all the nasty redstone and water columns and everything I've done here, but we'll get to that in a moment. We've got another double chest of shroomlights, more logs for days, and then I have no idea how many of these are filled, but there's all... I put like 2 stacks of chests down, and a good portion of them are filled. I think like the entire bottom row of this is filled. Yeah, there we go. Got all the way up to here. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and this is awesome at the same time. So I'm really happy that I've done these modifications. They took me only a couple of hours to do, and these modifications have allowed me to basically just automate everything. I don't have to switch farms in AFK one or the other, which was originally what I was doing, and it just really slowed me down, and I didn't enjoy that at all. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that I could have all of this, but it took a few shulkers to do so. I have 27 shulkers in both the bone meal unloaders combined. This one has 9, the other one has 18. And that one still has a little bit of bone meal in this. This one has run chalk dry. I need to probably get that figured out soon. I have no idea how many bones are left in my storage. There's a shulker loader down here, which I am going to free camp to because it's so much easier than the nightmare I have created. Now with this, I have made my own personal modification to this, and what that is that there is an extra detection system here that helps turn the farm on. Now, there's always to be a box right here, so the boxes typically come in pairs, and what they'll do is the box will sit here, and nothing will happen. It'll just kind of like semi-start the farm for just a moment, and then that box will sit here. The second box is actually what kicks the entire process on, and then two boxes get loaded. But by the time I'm assuming by the time two boxes are done loading, that a third one's come through, and it'll keep the cycle going for as fast as as fast as possible. I have no idea if I can plant fungus faster or slower than this farm can produce, and I want to say I plant it slower than the farm is because this thing is just ridiculous. So over here we have the fungus unloader. So we've got like 13 boxes plus the two that are in here. We got like 15 boxes of mushrooms. Plenty for a very long time. I don't think I even need to turn that farm on again for quite a while. And then we have the other bone loader unloader right here. And I made a couple of boo-boos with this. I made mistakes that I probably should have realized were a thing and tested them fully before I let the machine blow them up, but this lost the piston and stuff, so I think I was given an extra shulker box, and in here you'll see that the nylium is dead, and that's because there's actually a shulker box on here, and for some reason this did not want to break that shulker box. I don't know if I should be mad about that or thankful, and I think I'm thankful because it was comparing the shulker box, which was empty, and I think that stops the whole system. So, I didn't lose any shulker boxes that, but I did lose one. The original drop chute for this was actually a block over, and I had created this new circuit to lock the bone meal because the bone meal that was flying through here was actually piling up right here, and I gave this entire chest, I just gave it some room with the circuit. The circuit is currently active right now, is going to prevent it from overfilling like this. So this hopper is now locked, so hopefully it yeah, there we go. So this one is only going to have that much in it, and it'll stop sending bone meal down to here, and it'll allow the bone meal that's coming through here to have a priority rather than the bone meal coming from the shulker boxes, so that all the bone meal I'm making an investment here, well, more of a return. I think I get like 3 times the bone meal, so it's really weird to think of, but if I put 9 boxes of bone meal into this thing, I think it's worth about 27. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's about what it comes down to. I think I lose like 33% over the course of time, but it makes it last so much longer, and I'm very thankful for composting. So that works to my favor very, very well. I think. Yeah, so that's just fine. And I got a couple stacks in there to modify that. And then the signal strength from here, plus the 6 I'm getting from there, makes it 8, I think. So, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so signal strength 8, which is a little bit over half. That is when this is going to kick on, and that's lovely. The composting site, I finally got that figured out. Nothing's landing in the ocean anymore, so I believe we're retaining full. Yeah, there's nothing left in here. That's good to see. And then, how much bone meal do I have left in here? That's the big question, isn't it? I only got a couple of boxes left. That is... Oh, wow. It's still loading. Oh, yeah, I had to fix that because the box that ended up landing in there was also that piston breaking, which the piston and that comparator were the only 2 things that blew up. Ended up preventing the system from refilling with bone meal. So the entire thing just ran dry, and I assume so. And now we've got so many more extra boxes in here than I probably would ever need. And it looks like nothing is ending up in the wrong place right now, which that's very good to see. And, oh yeah, this is going to take a lot more bone meal than I have right now to finish. But, yeah, I'm very happy with this. I love this system a lot. I'm really happy that this came together. I probably should have taken this to creative to make this work a little bit better to my favor and plan it out a little bit better, but overall, I think that this is still a really good system. It's time to restock all the bone meal, prepare to start doing a dig, because now, with everything I was given, I actually have, well, traded with splashes. The trade that I made actually gives me the ability to start digging. So we have our box of tools here. We're gonna get some digging done because I need to get my diamonds, and I think I've got 25 diamonds, and I need to be able to buy the enchantments to make this armor complete, and the helmets and the boots are going to be pretty expensive, and the leggings are going to be 2 diamonds each. They're not going to be too expensive, but everything else is going to be quite expensive, and I don't think I have the diamonds right now to do so. So finally, we can start doing a bigger dig. I can start using the machine I built a long time ago to actually start sorting my stuff, and we can enjoy a bigger project. I think I've got a plan for my base. I'm going to need to go get a bunch of netherrack, and I think I want to cover this and make it into a smoldering, maybe not an island, but I want to make it into like a wasteland for the nether. And I mean in an actual sense rather than a barren sense. I want to make it look like the nether came here and just destroyed everything. Maybe like a post-war or I guess a nuclear wasteland would be kind of my expectation for a nether-based wasteland. So that's what I'm going to look into. I'm going to take a whole schematic of everything I've got here and see what I can do. The ocean isn't really going to pair in too well with that. So I think the best route to go with that is to have the warped being the main color. So a lot of bright blues and stuff like that. I think it's going to work really well. But other than that, I think everything else I've done, I'm very proud to have this working. I AFK'd some iron, we've sold some basalt, we've got to go AFK our mob farm again, and other than that, everything else is looking to finally be picking up and working well together. Man, I cannot underestimate this tree farm has just been so handy. Thanks a lot for that, Death.